Ukraine, a land of vast fields and vibrant cities, a tapestry of culture and history, but this tranquility is now shattered. The echoes of laughter have been replaced by the deafening roar of explosions. The once peaceful skies are now filled with the menacing shadows of warplanes. A nation holds its breath, caught in a conflict that has torn its people apart. The roots of this conflict run deep. To truly understand the complexities of the current situation, we must delve into the intertwined histories of Russia and Ukraine, which stretch back over a century. This is not just a modern-day geopolitical struggle. It is a saga that has been shaped by centuries of shared and often tumultuous history. They are entangled in centuries of shared history between Russia and Ukraine, from the days of the Kievan Rus, a medieval state that is considered a cultural and spiritual predecessor to both modern Russia and Ukraine, to the more recent Soviet era. The fates of these two nations have been inextricably linked. This shared history is filled with moments of cooperation, but also of conflict and domination. We must go back to the Soviet era, a time when Ukraine, under Moscow's rule, endured the Holodomor, a man-made famine that claimed millions of lives. This tragic event in the 1930s was a result of Stalin's policies and left a deep scar on the Ukrainian national consciousness. The Holodomor is remembered as a symbol of Soviet oppression and a pivotal moment in the history of Ukrainian resistance. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 brought hope for independence. For the first time in decades, Ukraine had the opportunity to chart its own course. The dissolution of the Soviet Union was a moment of immense significance, not just for Ukraine but for the entire world. It marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Eastern Europe. But the road to freedom was never going to be easy. The early years of independence were marked by political instability, economic hardship, and a struggle to establish a new national identity. Ukraine faced numerous challenges as it sought to distance itself from its Soviet past and build a democratic future. The transition was fraught with difficulties, and the shadow of Russian influence loomed large. The Orange Revolution of 2004 and the Euromaidan protests of 2013 were testament to the Ukrainian people's desire for democracy and their rejection of Russian influence. These mass movements were driven by a yearning for political reform, transparency, and closer ties with Western Europe. They were also a clear signal to Moscow that Ukraine was determined to assert its sovereignty and independence. These events laid bare the deep divisions between the two nations. The protests and subsequent political upheavals highlighted the stark contrasts in the visions for Ukraine's future. On one side, there were those who sought closer integration with Europe and a break from Russian dominance. On the other, there were factions that favored maintaining strong ties with Russia, reflecting the deep-seated historical and cultural connections. They set the stage for the current conflict. The annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014 and the ongoing war in eastern Ukraine are direct consequences of these historical tensions. The conflict has resulted in thousands of deaths, displacement of civilians, and a humanitarian crisis. It is a stark reminder that the past is never truly past, and the echoes of history continue to shape the present and future of these two nations. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 sent shockwaves across the world. It marked a turning point. Russia's military intervention in the Donbas region, supporting pro-Russian separatists, further escalated the crisis. A fragile peace held for a time, marred by sporadic violence, but the hope for a lasting resolution seemed to slip further away with each passing day. Behind the geopolitical complexities lie the stories of ordinary people whose lives have been irrevocably altered by the conflict, families torn apart, homes reduced to rubble. The human cost of this war is immeasurable. It is etched on the faces of grieving mothers, the haunted eyes of children, and the weary souls of soldiers. Section 5. Yulia's story, a mother's courage. Yulia, a young mother from Donetsk, recounts her harrowing escape from the besieged city. Her voice trembles as she describes the moment she realized they had to leave, the constant shelling, the fear in her children's eyes, and the uncertainty of what lay ahead weighed heavily on her heart. With her two young children in tow, she navigated bombed-out streets and dodged sniper fire. Each step was a gamble. Each corner turned could mean life or death. The city, once their home, had become a labyrinth of danger. Yulia's determination to protect her children kept her moving forward, even when her strength was waning. Her journey, fraught with danger and uncertainty, reflects the plight of millions displaced by the fighting. Along the way, they encountered other families, each with their own stories of loss and survival. The solidarity among the displaced was a small beacon of hope in the darkness. They shared food, water, and words of encouragement, forming a fragile community bound by their shared struggle. Her story is a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Yulia's courage, her unwavering love for her children, and her refusal to give up, even when the odds were stacked against her, serve as an inspiration to us all. Her journey is not just a tale of survival, but a powerful reminder of the enduring power of hope and the unbreakable bond of family. Section 6. The strength of unity. Ukrainians and Russians against war. Yet amidst the darkness, glimmers of hope emerge. Stories of ordinary Ukrainians and Russians standing together against the war. Volunteers risking their lives to deliver aid to conflict zones. Artists and musicians using their voices to call for peace. These acts of courage and compassion remind us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can endure. Section 7. Whispers of peace, a glimmer in the darkness. The path to peace is arduous and uncertain. Diplomatic efforts have been met with setbacks and frustrations. The international community grapples with finding a lasting solution. Yet the pursuit of peace remains paramount. It is the only way to honor the sacrifices of those who have lost their lives and to build a future free from fear and violence. The scars of this conflict run deep. Mistrust and animosity between the two sides remain significant obstacles. Reconciliation will require a commitment to dialogue, empathy, and a willingness to confront the painful legacy of the past. It is a long and arduous road, but one that must be traveled for the sake of future generations. Even as the conflict rages on, the spirit of resilience burns bright. Across Ukraine, communities are coming together to rebuild their lives and their nation from the ashes of war. Schools and hospitals are being rebuilt. Businesses are reopening. Farmers are returning to their fields. These acts of defiance and hope are a testament to the enduring spirit of the Ukrainian people. In a small village, a child's laughter rings out. It is a simple sound, yet it carries a powerful message. It is a reminder that even amidst the ruins, life goes on. That hope persists, that the human spirit, much like the sunflowers that blanket the Ukrainian countryside, will always turn towards the light. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is a tragedy for all involved. The devastation and loss experienced by countless families are heart-wrenching. Homes have been reduced to rubble, and lives have been shattered. The echoes of gunfire and the cries of the innocent haunt the streets, painting a grim picture of the harsh realities of war. It is a stark reminder of the human cost of war and the urgent need for peace. Across the globe, people are coming together, raising their voices in unison, demanding an end to the violence. Peace rallies and anti-war protests are a testament to the collective yearning for harmony and the respect for human life. Memorials for war victims stand as solemn reminders of the price we pay when diplomacy fails. As we bear witness to the suffering and resilience of the Ukrainian people, let us renew our commitment to diplomacy, understanding, and compassion. The strength and unity displayed by these communities in the face of adversity are truly inspiring. Humanitarian aid efforts pour in from all corners of the world, showcasing the power of global solidarity. Volunteers and organizations work tirelessly to provide relief, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. Let us work together to build a world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue, not violence. International peace talks and diplomatic efforts are crucial in paving the way for a brighter future. When leaders come together, setting aside differences for the greater good, we move one step closer to a world where understanding and cooperation prevail. Diverse communities coming together symbolize the beauty of unity in diversity, a world where every voice is heard and valued, a world where the laughter of children drowns out the sounds of war. Imagine a future where the innocence of childhood is preserved, where kids can play freely without the shadow of conflict looming over them. Joyful family moments, filled with love and laughter, become the norm. This is the brighter dawn we strive towards, a world where peace and happiness reign supreme, and the horrors of war are but distant memories.